Do you get my point?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like you could have a one-on-one conversation with him depending on how old he is, because age, yeah, also plays an important
Do you
part.
think? No, you're saying he said something about support. He said support the child, support the child. He's with the child. But don't you think the child dwelling or trying to understand what you are trying to do is also supporting you in return?
Wait, sorry, let me say something. I feel like I said, I believe what I believe is that parents knows how to make the right decisions for their children, despite the fact that the children may not see it now. It's just like what I gave earlier. They may not like it now, but later on they will tend to like it. And sometimes too, it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes too, you have to let the child do what he wants. But when you don't have enough time on your hands, and then you have like one son out of 5 girls, and then he's saying that he doesn't want that, I feel like it's where you get to have a one-on-one conversation with him, try to make him understand that this is where you're coming from, this is your point of view, this is what you want. If he also says that, okay, fine, you want something differently, you cannot force him, because if you force him, he will be unhappy. But at the same time too, if you also force some people, like if you also force some people, they may not like it now, but trust me, they'll tend to like it later. I just feel like it's just life itself.
Okay, do you know that? There's a way that I'm saying that you force your child, somebody force their child now, and he takes over your business. There's a possibility that child now, seeing that he doesn't have a passion for it and everything, can run that business to the ground.
So that's a question. Who says you need passion to run a business?
You need though.
Who says you need passion? So you don't need passion to run a business. I don't think you necessarily need passion to run your business.
What do you think you need?
Something that you.
I just think you need the right set of persons around you. I feel like you need passion to start a business, but not to run a business. If everything is set in place for you, it's a properly working structure. Yes, everybody, you have the best hands on ground for a business already starting and doing well. You don't need to love what the business is all about to be able to run the business. I'm not saying
we could use work, for example.
I'm just saying, what you need passion for is to build it from scratch. But that is already running. Like your father has done everything for you. You just say, okay, my son, take over from this, manage it. You don't need passion for that. You just need the right things. You just need a template to follow. And then you're moving. And you can also do that and then still get something that so I don't really think you need passion to run a business.
It is. So I still disagree a bit, because now there are different types of business now. Let me say now let me say your father now owns like let me say like a hospital or like something.
Or like a cold room. Like they sell chicken.
I think hospital, man. Let me see. Let me hear what was it. What actually makes more sense?
Yes, now. So now you don't like this thing, but you were forced into it. You're forced into this field that you don't like, and let me say you might never really have so much knowledge on it now. If it's in business now, that is, let me say, something that is more, I don't really know how to use my words, but like something that is complicated now, you might not even know how to run it perfectly if you don't have enough knowledge, and although some kind of businesses to get us to be like, especially that medicine now, if you don't have parents normal, if you don't have passion for medicine, you will drop out, because what your eyes will see. By the time you see somebody now that has been involved in a car accident, you see somebody that the eye is here, the tongue is here, like you're not be seeing an emergency room before. If you see all those kind of things, sometimes someone like this, you will not eat for like 1 week, guy.
Like
You will not eat for like 1 week. So all those kind of things. Now, if you force somebody into that line now, it's like, I don't feel, no matter how you force somebody into that line, even if he has, okay, yes, he has the right people, but again, he might not still be.
Do you know that talking about fatherhood, importance of fatherhood has characteristics. One, you must be able to, as a father, you must be able to understand what works, what will work, what has worked. You understand, for yourself and then for your child, for your male child. Don't you think you being a good father? You when you say force, it's just like I just brought something here and I tell you must do it. If I give birth to a child and I have a legacy already, right from when that child is given birth to, I basically I'm imputing things that has to do with the things that I feel like I want you to go into. So you know nothing aside what I'm putting in your head.
Yes,
Don't you think that's fatherhood?
Yeah, it's fatherhood, but no, do you know there's possibility that that child eventually, because like my state deviates from that
Yes.
life that
No,
you put
now,
into.
now that's true. That's true. The child might deviate, but somebody that has from day one that gave birth to you all through your life. In fact, you do see that's how you know something that
Mm.
if a new thing comes to you, you don't know so much about it. What to put in your phones, what is like that's what you know, what you can pick from, that's all you know. Because right from the day they gave birth to you, that's what they gave birth to you. Now, as a good father, you know that if you want your child to actually take over from the business or take over from the legacy, what you should do is start imputing those things
Very
early,
early. Yes, exactly.
early, so that when they grow up, it's not a do or die affair.
Mhm.
Even if they don't want to completely be fully involved in it,
They have
an idea about it.
Exactly.
So don't think that's fatherhood.
Yeah, I
I
feel
think
like
that's not what fatherhood should be about.
yes. And I also feel like that was like what my parents did to me too when I was much more younger. I always used to say I never want to do chicken business, I hate chicken business. But they would always carry me to the shop every single day. They'd be like, even if I'm not cutting chicken, they'll be like, go and watch.
Just go and watch. Yeah.
Just go and watch. Stand there. Go and be watching the scale. Before you know, they'll tell you, yeah, go and carry chicken away. What does it read? Like little by little, they'll tell you, they'll say, stand there, go and watch. You're not doing anything. But as far as they are gradually imputing that in you, all of a sudden it will become part of you. That later on, okay, you just when you're in such situation, you can
Just go and do it.
yeah,
Because they'll fix you around that,
fix it around it.
So even at the edge of looking for good fatherhood, you're aspiring for that with somebody else. One day you also be a father. And I mean the whole aim of having a fatherhood figure in your life is as to become a more better
yes,
version of what you've received over the years. So if your father was able to teach you these things, you should take from those corrections and then because not what I mean, you're going to be fathers, you have to be best fathers, you have to be best version of yourself. And I mean every father has to practice fatherhood. So I don't know what you guys think about that. Please let us know in the comment section. Alright. Would you want to force your children into things or you let them do what they want to do for themselves? Like okay, so is there an advantage to having a fatherhood figure in your life or in a man's life growing up? And okay, if you bring somebody that had a fatherhood figure growing up and you bring someone that does not have a fatherhood figure growing up, do you think they have advantage to each other? Or do you think one has more disadvantage? And what do you think about it?
I feel like having a fatherhood figure has just let me say an edge. I would not say it's a very big advantage, but it has an edge over someone who doesn't have a fatherhood figure.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about it.
So what about somebody that does not have a fatherhood figure? What does the person stand in gap? What does the person have? What advantage does the person have? Does the person have some kind of motivation?
Well, I feel like the person has it has person has a negative a negative motivation, which is e.g. the pain. Person can use that pain as a fuel, as a driving force to serve as motivation. Like so if you're using that pain as a driving force to serve as motivation, you could tell yourself that, oh, I do not have a fatherhood figure in my life, then I have to make sure that my life doesn't end up like um someone who's wayward. So you have to push yourself. You have to go through hurdles that normally when you have a fatherhood figure, you could with guidance you would easily pass it. But when you're passing those hurdles yourself, you might fall. But it all depends on how you get back on your feet again. That matters. So that's the main
What do
difference.
you think about that?
So I actually concur with him that someone that has a good fatherhood figure in their life has a slight edge over someone that doesn't. If all things being equal, because there are a lot of things that affect how someone
Yes.
ends up in future. But if it's just based on fatherhood, like a good fatherhood figure, because now someone that has a good fatherhood figure now has someone that he can, let me say, that's gone through similar, like even though we don't live the same life, but he had like similar experiences, and even if it's not everything, he can help you, guide you into one or two things. But someone now that doesn't have anybody at all. He's going through life on his own.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to experience everything. Something that, let me say, someone that, let me say, your father can guide you or tell you something early on. This one now, you have to learn it by
Yes.
experience, since you don't have someone to like guide you. And that thing now, it can either work out one or two ways. Like you said, it can also be like a driving force to make you a better person, and it can also be a driving force to make you like make your life go like also be
Haywire.
Exactly.
Okay. So looking at the two genders, male and female. Yes. Talking about absence of fatherhood in a male child, like growing up. Yes. Talking about how important it is, negative effect, positive effect, and all that. Let's just chip in girls into the picture a little bit now. So looking at male and female, do you think the males will suffer more without a fatherhood figure in their life than the females? Or do you think it's almost the same thing?
Well, I feel like it's almost the same thing, but at the same time too, I also think personally that women may suffer a whole lot more because they are much more open to external forces. Yes, they are much more open to external forces. So, for example, now, even as young as a girl, like 16 years old, she's already open to them to approaches from different sort of men at 16. So, and if she's not well groomed, she could, start sleeping around, smoking, drawing tattoos on absurd areas, just living life waywardly. And before you know, when she finally realizes herself, she'll be like, "Oh, I have actually fucked up." Then she'll try her best to revive it and everything. So I feel like it's much more harder for women.
So are you saying that the presence of fatherhood in a female's life will stop all these things you just said?
Well, I would not say entirely 100% because one, it's all about the child itself. But I feel like, for example, the guidance now that fatherhood will give you, that protection, that guidance it will give you, it will make sure that it can stop at least 80%. Yeah, it can help you, it can shape you, it can shape you, it can give you that fear that okay, fine, I have someone that is talking to me, I have someone that cares about me, I don't want to let this person down. So when you have that mentality in your head, you'd be like, oh, I wouldn't want to do anything that would disgrace this person. I wouldn't want to do anything that will make this person that will let this person down. Do you understand? So that's
No,
it.
let's shift away. Sorry to cut you short. Let's shift away from and getting approaches from men to females. Yes.
Okay.
Because I even feel like if there's anybody that has to do that thing very wrong, it has to be the mom. The mom will relate better to females when it comes to the aspect of sexuality and all that. But keeping that aside right now, are you saying that that's the only aspect that a fatherhood figure present can cover up for in the female's child? In the female's
If
child?
I'm saying that only in terms of men aspect,
Yes, is that the only aspect?
no, no. If okay, now I said it can also impact the child positively. For example, now we could use the school part, like I said earlier. So um um
Go on.
So now, me, I'm regarding your main question.
Yes.
I feel like the absence of a father affects guys more
Than females.
than females. Well, because like now, I feel like me personally, I feel that's my opinion on that. The major aspects where lack of like the absence of a father like really affects females is in their relationships. Because now, see, a girl now, like let me say, a girl now that did not feel fatherly love or get that like male, was not loved as a child, I feel that fatherly male validation, will seek it externally. Like a girl now that someone that is loved at home now, will not just like I feel say a girl that's loved at home now, will not just take nonsense from like any type of male. I'm not searching for that. But girls now that them somebody that don't feel that fatherly love, don't feel that male love as a child now will grow up like needing that love, like and she will like I don't know if you get what I mean.
She doesn't know what it feels like.
Like to be loved, like to be loved genuinely.
So anything
like
that
a
comes,
man, so
just
anything that
accept
exactly.
and all
So
that.
that's why you see when they talk about girls that have daddy issues, like it's a real thing that affects a lot of females till date. Girls that have absentee fathers, like they didn't feel that male love, so they go on searching. That's why they'll just before you know they're falling in love with this guy. You treat her like shit, but she will not still care. So like she just wants that love by any means. That's why you do see some of them say they tell you that they don't like try to hold down men and those kind of things because it somehow feels in that like because of that like lack of love they had when they were growing up. So I think it immediately affects females in their like relationships. But as for guys now, it try affects you as a man, like your main core as a guy, everything that is called to you as a man, your decision making, your leadership aspects, even your relationships too, like everything actually affect. But females now, obviously they have their mother, like if it's giving you like a good way to be a woman, giving you like a good example to be a woman, like your mother can always
Cover up for the
exactly.
aspects.
Like she's the main person you're looking at now. For
Them
to be
to grow model.
exactly your role model. Exactly.
Like motherhood is to men and fatherhood is
so
to
men. So, but for that now, is that love now? Because obviously everybody loves to be loved. Everybody, like no matter how much time, like, even as a child, you always wanted to be loved by like father and mother. And you know how the male and female like sometimes females say for even they have like a softer side for their dads. They have that fatherly love. That fatherly love is like very important to females. So women that didn't get it when they were young now try and get it when they are older to also make them make wrong decisions.
okay. So do you think it's chaos if a woman that did not have fatherly or fatherhood presence in their life growing up meets a man that does not have fatherhood presence in their life growing up? You think that's chaotic?
Um, that's a very hard question.
I swear,
Because I feel like this question can only be answered from someone who has experienced this. Well, when you've experienced this, then you can, from his own point of view, you can say, okay, fine, this and this and that. But from a neutral point of view, I feel like um both need to align. You should meet someone who has a fatherly love if you've had a fatherly love, and if you haven't, and then someone that doesn't have a fatherly love, and you know meet a man who also doesn't have a fatherly love, I feel like no, they will not be able to coexist because I don't think they've been able to understand about each other. So I feel like maybe for example, now the man may be much more hot tempered. He may not know how to handle certain situations, and maybe the girl too. She may not know how to talk to the guy. She may not know how to talk to him. She may not know how to approach him verbally. So before you know, it may lead to this physical alteration, verbal abuse, whatever. So I feel like I'm not in the best place to answer that.
Well,
So now,
so, but now I actually concur with him too. But now you not take into note that some people now, due to the fact that, as we said, some people now turn their pain into motivation. The fact that they didn't feel it, they try to like make themselves better,
Yeah.
better. So
Okay.
now, if she meets someone that has worked on himself to like remove the absence of fatherhood and has to be like he can actually be someone that can love her correctly. That is, but now someone that has not worked on himself, that is just carrying up the burden of not having a father in his life, and now meets a girl that is still carrying the burden of not having a father in her life. I feel like the two, because I don't feel the girl will be able to love her correctly
The way she wants
the way she wants to be loved.
Exactly.
all right, guys, we're talking about the absence of fatherhood in a male's child growing up, right? Basically, the absence of fatherhood in a male boy or male child growing up. You know, when you're growing up, you don't have a fatherlyhood present and all that. That's the topic for today. So I also want to know now, if you're to pick between um a female that lacks fatherhood structure in their life and a male that lacks fatherhood structure in their life, if you're to pick between two of them, hmm, which would you go for? Which would you rather? What situation would you rather want to cope with?
I know that okay fine from the male perspective you always say male, but from the woman perspective they'll always say women. So um that's also a very tough question.
Okay. Well, but I think that it is easier for a woman to grow up without a fatherly or a fatherhood figure in her life than a man. You know why? Because anyhow it is, she'll come back to meeting a man. later in future. She'll get married eventually. So what happens if she doesn't have she never grew up understanding what the fatherhood figure is, but she now gets married and then she meets it later in life. What this means is that growing up she doesn't get it, but she has a second chance to understand what the fatherly love is like.
Yeah.
But a man,
It's like
once
no
you
day,
lose it,
no
no
day.
day,
Yeah, no
you cannot get it back again.
No day.
Or what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, now I feel like I totally agree with you.
So basically, I think I'll manage a girl not having
Yeah.
but I cannot manage a girl not having a motherly figure in her life. It's just the same thing for guys. Like guys can manage not having a motherly figure in their life than a fatherly figure, and I think it's vice versa.
No, I feel like it too works both hand in hand.
Well, research
Yeah.
comes out that like people raised in like single father homes affect on better.
Better, yeah.
People raised in single mother homes.
And
I think in both genders. So because I don't know, as a guy, you might not be able to like teach your girl how to be a lady, like a prim and proper lady, but without fatherly understanding, at least you can guide her into like exactly like, but she might not be a very feminine female, like she will not be like the most feminine of them, but at least you'll be able to like ground her in certain aspects of life, like to the best of their abilities as a guy. But that one of female, I don't think like a female can raise.
No, but also let me chip in.
What?
Okay, let me use an example for myself. There was a girl I was talking to, and there's a girl I talked to. So she always made example of, she always uses her dad as an example. She always uses her dad. She say, "Oh, my dad wouldn't love this. Oh, my dad wouldn't do this. I love the way my dad treats me. If other men can't treat me how my dad treats me, then it's not good. My dad talks to me." She's always using her dad as a benchmark. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like with the way she always talks about her dad, I feel like he has really impacted her positively. Like always, whenever she meets me, like, "Oh, I miss my dad. Oh, my dad talked to me today. Oh, my dad said I shouldn't do this." She's always conscious about her dad. So what I'm trying to say is, children raised in single father household is much more.
Okay, guys. So we'd like to in the comment section we'll ask them, what would you want to cope with? A woman or a girl that is raised without a fatherly figure, or a man, a boy that is raised without a fatherly figure? Which do you think you can cope with? Let us know in the comment section.